It's Friday night in Lagos and the young Nigerian beauties are drawn to the new shrine. The show's going to be well worth the price of admission tonight, and the audience is slowly beginning to gather with an unhurried momentum unique to Africa. Femi Kuti and the Positive Force Band are putting on a concert. It's to mark the 4th anniversary of Femi's father's death. Fela Kuti was the Afro-beat legend who married 27 of his dancers. Son Femi is monogamous, but he knows how to get the show moving anyway. Fela's enduring image is a hard act to follow, but Femi Kuti has built this club in his father's honour. It's a way to make sure that memory lives on.
Well, my relationship with my father was problematic, but we're very close. Towards the end, very close. And we had difficulties because of the people around him who were always, everybody was after what they could get from him. And it was, for me, he was always trying too hard to please the people around him and people who loved him. He never really paid attention.
Lagos looks like many Western cities from a distance, but underneath its veneer of big city sophistication, it embodies all the worst excesses of Nigerian life. Fela Kuti was an outspoken political opponent of successive military governments in Nigeria, so the original shrine he created has been pulled down. It's the ordinary people's loss.
Most of the market sellers on the streets, they make money when Fela was here. And everybody are very happy when he was here. But now that he's not here, there is feelings, there's the street. You can see the street, how the whole street is dull.
Fela is sorely missed.
There's nothing we can do. Everything has gone. So that's how God wants it.
Imprisoned and harassed by the authorities, Fela was urged to run for president by his fans, and Nigeria will never see his like again. Fela was internationally renowned as a high-life, jazz and Afro-beat exponent, and his music plays on in the streets of Lagos. Music shops are still full of Femi's father's records. He produced over 130 songs in his long career, but to those who knew him, Fela was much more than a musician.
He's a hero to those young people who wanted to be like him. He's a revolutionary in some of the ideas his music propagated. And if he was not a revolutionary, he would not have become such a scare to established authority.
Africa will be free. Africa will unite.
And now Femi Kuti has taken up his father's mantle. Once desperate to prove himself greater than Fela, Femi has mellowed. He's content with his own career now.
I always think about him. He's always in my thoughts. So, I mean, the shrine is for him. Many things I do are like for him, really. Still in his path. The struggle. He inspired me to really believe in Africa, giving Africa a great hope for a future. And so I spend my career, most of my career, fighting for the liberation of Africa and things like this.
Like his father, Femi sees the squalor, the struggle to survive, the corruption and the mismanagement of Nigeria with the eyes of one who's travelled extensively abroad. He's very critical of the lack of progress managed by the successive regimes in his homeland.
I say we're in prehistoric times. We have passed the Stone Age. We are going further and further back into, we are going back into the forest. It's pathetic, I think. It's terrible. I see there's no ideology behind the government, for instance.
And in recent months, as always, the newspapers on sale in the capital bemoan the state of the Nigerian nation. The headlines speak of corruption, civil unrest and economic disaster in equal measure. But as well as Fela's political views, Femi Kuti has inherited the indomitable celebration of life that throbs at the heart of Afro-beat. This lyrical tour de force won him the title of Best Male African Artist at the World Music Awards.
The next generation will either be more violent or more peaceful, and that's life. Africa now is producing violence, more violence, and if things are not done immediately, the next generation is going to be more violent. Then the next generation will be murderers, killers, and look, it's going to be like everybody's just going to start shooting each other on the streets. That's what's going to happen in the next 20 years.
And it's obvious on the crime-ridden streets of Lagos that unless things change soon, this generation of street-savvy hustlers is destined to maintain the gangster ethos that makes Nigerians notorious in Africa.
I think music is the most peaceful and the best way at this point in time, because after music, it's going to be the gun.
But in the new Shrine Club, the dancers continue the tradition of provocative yet tongue-in-cheek sexuality that built Fela's reputation. And Femi knows how to turn it on too. The lyrics may be risque, but Femi's heart's in the right place.
I've not given up hope. I will still sing about the problems. I will still spend my life, my money, and everything I've got trying to liberate Africa from this mess.
But however complex Femi Kuti's motivations, as a son trying to emerge from the shadow of a famous father, he's determined to be seen as a musician in his own right. Femi does know how to blow a sax.